Now I am ready. I have IBS. I am being.
You do it. I'm eating Tums right now, by the way. So, you know, my IBS.
What does IBS stand for?
Irritable bowel syndrome.
Damn.
There have been two moments in my life when I was happiest. The first was the day I met Josh.
I'm Josh.
I'm Iris. And the second, the day I killed him.
Written, directed by Drew Hancock. Yes, this film stars Sophie Thatcher, Jack Quaid, Lucas Gage.
These two people are 30-something-year-old. They appear to live together, and they had the cutest little meet cute in the grocery store. And now they're on a vacation with their rich friend. But before we continue, it is impossible to talk about this film in any way, shape, or form without talking about spoilers. So this is going to be full spoilers, all right? I promise you, if you haven't seen this film, every word after this is going to give you a hint to a spoiler that you probably don't want. So please go back and watch the film, and then come back and watch this.
Huey's girlfriend, played by Sophie Thatcher, her name is Iris in this. You know, she is like very kind of like unsure of hanging out and being up here with these people. Jack Quaid's character Josh is like, yeah, it's fine. You know, just relax and stuff. You know, take a break, go out by the lake and have fun. And it's just giving her like all type of things just to calm down, to be okay with being around everyone other than just him, because she is very attached to him.
Well, I mean, she's kind of forced to. When they walk into the house, she's holding all the luggage. She's dragging it all out of the car. She's holding it. She's dragging it into the house. And his best friend or one of his friends, Kay, answers the door. And she's like, oh, it's so good to see you. Oh, my God. Oh, it's been so long. You look so great. Oh, hey, Iris. And so she's like getting immediately disrespected. The issue, if there was ever an issue with this film, right? Because I think this is a really, really strong film, is that everything is so blunt. It is so blunt, so in your face. But as someone pointed out to me, that actually might be the point. Sometimes you really do have to bang people over the head in order for them to get the theme. And this movie, God damn, it bangs it. But luckily, it's a strong film.
Yeah, it's a strong film with interesting characters. Now, Drew Hancock, he's a writer and he's been writing TV series and stuff like that. One of my favorite ones, Blue Mountain State, hilarious. And with this film, I'm like, there's supposed to be like it's a thriller element, but there's a lot of comedy in this. Eli in here, he's funny. He's in a relationship with Patrick.
Our characters arrive to this lake house. They're ready to have a good time. And depending on who you are, how many of these trailers you've seen, you may know that our character is not human.
She's an android.
Right. But it's unclear if that's supposed to be a twist, though. And how she interacts with the people around her is the film.
He owns this robot. That's one of the themes in this whole thing, about owning somebody and controlling somebody, like a household item or whatever, like a freaking phone or something. Right. The name of this particular model is Iris. When he's receiving Iris, they're playing Google Dolls Iris in the background. I thought that was funny.
That's cute. Didn't notice that. That's cute. If you've seen all the trailers, if you know the twist, right? There's still more twists for you in the film, which I liked a lot. And I am like torn as to whether or not I like that they revealed that in the trailer. And this movie could have just stopped. The movie really, and I fully expected it to, just stop at the reveal that some of our characters in this film are not human. It could have stopped and just have them chase around pretty girls with knives. But no, the movie has a lot more to say. It's got a lot more to say about power. It's got a lot more to say about relationships. The movie draws parallels between, as you said, Tyrone, a household object and a woman. But we learn a little bit more. We get a little bit of a peek behind the curtain, and we get two people who worked for like the robot company. And he's like, sometimes people will put the robots in chains. They'll lock them up in basements. They beat them. They shoot them. Use them as target practice. Who knows why rich people act like this? Oh, well, it's just a Tuesday, you know?
I have a friend of mine that I work with. He throws his phone everywhere every time he gets mad at it. And I'm like, dude, that's your phone. I don't care. I just get a new one. That's what he says all the time. I don't care. I just get a new one. I'm like, so that's kind of the thing that's with this, that he treats Iris almost like a cell phone. They're at this rich guy's house. this guy named Sergey. So everyone just thinks that this guy's a bad guy, and he comes off as very like douchey and just, he's a jerk.
Right. And it's like, again, his appearance is just a punchline. It's like, you get it, right? And it's important that no one actually says he's a dick. We don't know what his deal is, but the movie knows that you understand that shorthand.
It's like he's a guy that looks like he just wears, cheap smelling cologne, and he has a mullet, business in the front, party in the back,
right.
And everyone else looks kind of normal. She's down by this huge pond and lake, and then Sergey comes and visits her and asks her to basically stay and keep him company and put lotion on his back. And he's like, oh, Kat said it was fine. She gave me permission to touch you and do all this stuff. But in her pocket was a knife. And then, she used that to kill Sergey.
Right.
And she comes back up to the lodge, bloodied and everything. And that's when everyone is like, oh my gosh, what's going on?
We learn that this whole plot is a big plan to kill Sergey. Both Kay and our main character have secretly plotted together to kill Sergey and get his money.
She basically breaks free, and then they go on a hunt in the woods to try to find her.
Right.
That's where we find out that Patrick is also an android.
Right.
Patrick and Eli's relationship is totally different from, Josh's and Iris's relationship, because Eli really does love Patrick. He loves his android. Like, he's like, I believe that we are in a real
that's certainly what he
relationship.
Says. So what's really interesting is if you listen to what Eli says and how he actually speaks to his partner, he actually talks down to him the whole film.
Mm-hmm. Eli, Iris, shh, baby, you're on the phone.
He still talks down to him like he's like a little boy or like a child, right? So when they're out and they're hunting for Iris in the woods, right? Eli finds Iris. He climbs on top of her. Yeah. He's got a gun. He's ready to end this film. He's like, all right, y'all, I'm done here. I'm still an ally, though. I'm still an ally. I'm sorry. I'm still an ally. And he's like shooting at her. And I thought that was really fascinating that even though his actions are murder, right? His words are still correct, right? He's like, oh, I still like you. I still respect you. Yeah, I'm still your friend. Yeah, I'm still your friend. It's very fascinating, right? It's about power. And even though he still loved his robot, right? And I think he actually did. He loved the fact that he will always have power over him. There will never be a scenario where his partner will talk back to him or have an opinion that he doesn't like. This will never happen. He'll just turn his ass off. You know what I mean?
Because they can't
exactly lie. So again, is that real love though? Is that real? No, of course not. That's just as toxic, just as ugly, just as effed up as anything Josh is doing. So I thought that was really, really fascinating. That's like that extra step that I really like movies doing, right? Instead of staying on the surface level, they went one step further, that even though some people say all the right things, look at their actions. Look at what he's doing. I'm curious as to how a woman would have treated the subject matter, but I thought it was really good. I could not help but think about, and I'm sure you're the same way, I couldn't help but think about Terminator in this film. There's even like a little Terminator nod.
Yeah. There's a Terminator scene.
When a character who is revealed to be a cyborg dresses up like a cop. And this film essentially is Terminator, except if you replace the time travel with like gender roles and gender conformity. I think that's really fascinating. Who would have ever thought those two would have fit together so nicely, but they do. This movie reminded me a lot of the film Ex Machina. It's very similar. And that ending, have you seen Ex Machina?
No.
Okay, I will not spoil the ending then. But the ending for this film and the ending for Ex Machina are almost identical, because they both talk very much about how women are treated like androids or cyborgs or robots, and how they don't have a lot of autonomy. And the men always see themselves as the nice guy. Our main character, he even said...
That's exactly what he kept saying.
He even said, I'm a nice guy. I'm not a bad guy.
I'm a nice guy.
But see, what the thing is, what he doesn't realize is he's like an incel, right? He's a lonely man who wants and craves power and wants and craves attention. And we see what happens. It's fascinating that once he got power over someone, the first thing he did was have sex. And then after that, commit murder. I just think that's really fascinating.
Or have her commit murder and blame it on her because it's an android, and that was their plan, I thought this film was smart, and I liked how it all just happened within like a day in one location.
In our last review for The Wolfman, I also said the whole thing takes place in this cabin, and it's very obvious. You're very aware that you're stuck in this cabin with these characters. In this film, not only do you not care that you're stuck, you don't want to go anywhere. You're like, no, this is where the interesting stuff is. And this film keeps you from even realizing that you're stuck in one location by having twist after twist after twist after twist after twist. This script is working. This script is moving.
And Josh, Jack Quaid's character tries everything to be able to make sure he's not the guy that's being responsible for any of this, because the bodies pile up.
This movie is about you. This movie is about me. This movie is about men. We have a problem. The theme of this film is not women be cyborgs, okay? This film is about lonely men and the absolutely depraved, effed up stuff that goes on in their heads that we allow to happen. We let this happen, and we know it's happening. And this movie just holds up a mirror.
And I think that's what Zach Krieger loved about this script and what Drew Hancock wrote, because he wrote Barbarian, and what Barbarian was about men.
Yeah, exactly. True. Both times the men were the villains, and they didn't know it. I just think it's important to point out that the men
they did not
know it. These were well-intentioned monsters. Okay, and it's like, do you recognize yourself? You might be a well-intentioned monster.
And when she's like, "It's not you, it's me," he's like, "Wait, you breaking up with me?"
Right. He was like, the audacity. You're breaking up with me? Right.
How dare you?
Right. Or even less so. He had a little nickname for her. And she did not know, by the way, that she's a robot. He turned her intelligence down to 40%. And so she was never able to piece together that she was a robot. But his little cute name for her was Bee-Boop. Like, it's like an insult, right? That's like if you had a girlfriend who's calling you, "Come on, little nigger, like, come on over here." You know, it's like, why? It's so awful, you know?
So I think that this is, a good start off to the beginning of the year. I want more films like this to be made that talks about subjects. It don't necessarily have to be a subject like this. Again, this film is not bashing men. It's shining a light on it. Okay, that's what I feel like it's doing. It's shining a light to your imperfections and how you treat people.
But you mentioned that you hope more movies like this are made. And
I do.
And my issue is, I'm starting to realize when I look out here, these movies are being made. They're out there. They're just getting released in January. Do you know what I'm saying? They're getting disrespected. I want to see these kind of movies be elevated higher. You know what I mean? Movies that have a lot to say always get pushed to the margins, which kind of sucks, because I know this summer we're going to be greeted with Fantastic Fours and Supermans and all these kind of stupid shit, But then the important films get pushed to January. And so I hope more important films get in front of people's faces, however that is. I don't know if it needs to go on streaming or what.
I enjoyed this film, and of course Devin enjoyed this film. But more importantly, what did you think of the film? Get in the comments and let us know what you thought of Companion.
Are you breaking up with me?
It's not you. It's me.
Thank you so much for clicking on this video. We really do appreciate you guys. We say that every single time, but it really is true. And if you are new to seeing us, hit that subscribe button right at the bottom, okay? We'll always be here for you, your companions. And if you did like this review for this film, hit that thumbs up. It really does help out this channel. Or you get the thumbs down, whichever you choose. It is your opinion, but just remember one thing. It is mostly wrong. We will see you in another movie review, okay? Be good to each other. That's all I gotta say.